friends. So in today's video, we are continuing to work on Spanish Jackie from our flag means death. And we're doing the waist cincher today. I have no idea how to make one, but we have some faux leather and a dream. So let's get started. So my sewing machine already set up, and I have some faux leather. I'm about to clean it up, take off all of these edges. Now this piece of faux leather I've been using for years. I think I originally got it for like Carol's bow and arrow holder. It might have been even before that, but I've been using it most recently to make toe caps for my roller skates. But it looks like we are at the very end of it. So that's what we have. That's what we're working with. So right now, it's still a tiny bit uneven, but that's okay. Right now we are working with a piece that is about 15.5 from top to bottom, and let's see, across about 23 across. Maybe just use I didn't measure my waist, and I have this one as a guide, but it's not really the shape that I want, so it's not really a guide. I was just trying to really see how this is constructed. It looks like it's 3 pieces of faux leather that are just stacked on top of each other. So 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I was really just trying to see if how it was constructed, more than a model for what I want to do. The one that I want to do does not have lacing in the front. These 2 panels are just flush like that without any lacing, and I'm assuming that the lacing or however it's attached in the back. So this piece of faux leather does not need to be able to reach all the way around me. I just really need the front 2 panels basically. So that's what we're trying to figure out how to do it. I think I might cut it on the fold so that I'll have 2 even pieces. I'll do a little mock-up with this piece of faux leather that I have, and we'll get right back to you. And this is just a test, just to see the shape. I like that shape that comes to a point and then goes out, and then we have that flare that kind of comes up and then out straight. I was trying to see if I liked how just edge stitching looked, and then the turned over edge stitching, and obviously that looks much better. You know, it's rough. Don't look at my lines, it's rough, but it looks better. And I lost my point on this side, but yeah, so my machine did not like doing this, and I also realized that I have to leave seam allowance so that I don't lose the shape that I want. So we're gonna leave seam allowance, we're gonna turn over the edges, and then the stitching, I don't like how that looks, but I'll try it on the actual. I think I have some cord. We'll see how that looks with cord. Okay, so some more things that I learned with this trial. I learned that I like this cording, so I have to go pick up some more of this cording, but in brown. Hopefully they have brown. If not, this could be painted brown. And also to get a better, cleaner looking hole, I used this hole punch. And I do have a bigger hole punch, so that will come in handy when I have to get into the middle part. So it should have 3 rows here and then in the middle. So that'll be 3. I need to do the punches before I glue this middle part, because if I glue it first, then I won't have access to this middle part. So we're making some progress with this little scrap part before we move to the bigger version. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so these are the 2 pieces that I'm actually gonna use. As you can see, it's bigger than the scrap piece. And I'm gonna try and fold them under like I did this side. Hopefully my stitches are straighter. I don't think that I'm gonna do the weaving thread, at least for now. And then I'm gonna cut. I was gonna return this belt, but I think I'm gonna use the elastic from it because it has elastic and snaps. So it'll be easy to get in and out of. Okay, y'all, so I found this valance that had kind of a damask design on it, and I actually thought the leather looked a little boring just as is, so I overlaid it. Haven't really made it permanent yet. I don't think I'm gonna sew it down. If anything, I will just glue it down. My sewing machine was not happy messing around with this faux leather. It was hard enough as is sewing the faux leather. Now trying to sew more stuff over it, I don't think it's gonna work. And I actually really like it like this. I have to try it on with the full costume. The only thing, it is very shiny. We'll see. Okay, so seeing it with the costume on, I am actually not liking the shiny material, even though I'm gonna try and look for something a little more matte to try and give a little bit more interest to this belt since it's so plain. All right, so sorry the lighting is such crappy. It's the middle of the night, but this is what the waist belt is looking like. Very simple. If I can find a little bit more ornate fabric or more ornate faux leather, then I'll redo it or put it over top. But for now, this is what we're working with, and as long as you don't look too close, you won't be able to see this back piece, this back connector piece, so I'm not too worried about that. And then the back, I reinforced the back piece. Not great, not too great, but just with another piece of faux leather to make this a little bit more rigid so that it wouldn't collapse on itself, since it's not a proper corset like with bones or anything. But I left the side flaps without any reinforcement because I wanted to actually have that be a little bit more flexible. The design is very simple, but I'm actually happy with it. Never made anything like it before, and yeah, just glad that I got to make something for this cosplay. It's been very much a buy and edit kind of deal, but yeah, I was really happy I got to make something for this cosplay. So we are in the home stretch of working. Romeo, what's wrong? We're in the home stretch of working on my New York Comic Con cosplays, just doing a bunch of random little things that we still have left to do. First up, working on the shirt. So I bought this shirt for Spanish Jackie. I was like, you know what, it'll do but when I put it on with the cosplay, I did not like how it looked. She doesn't have ruffles like this. She just has a bunch of ties. So I thrifted this shirt. Will it stay? That is more similar to what her shirt actually is. It has its own tie. And then I thrifted these two. I might go back for a couple of more different white textured ties. This one's lace, this one's like a silk with like some brocade flowers on it. And I also thought this shirt would be perfect because of the sleeves. Unfortunately though, they are too short. So they stop right at my wrist instead of kind of tangling off my wrist like this one does. So this one, the sleeves kind of puff out from underneath the sleeve of my jacket, which is how the characters does. So I think I'm going to Frankenstein some Frankensteins and stuff. So I'm going to cut off this sleeve from this first shirt and put it directly, sew it directly onto the sleeve of the jacket. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay, so that's pinned in place. It took a lot of brain power to figure out how to do that. I am running on fumes. I'm so tired, but we got it pinned. Doing a bit of blind sewing because the first sleeve went so poorly. It continued. It is so amazing how you think something is so simple, but it turns out to be so difficult. So I sewed this one like this, but then when I put it right side up, there was a bunch like that. So then I had to sew this down, top stitch it down. So that's why we're sewing this blind, so that that bunching doesn't happen. Okay. It's on. First win. And that's some great blind stitching. It caught the white lace, the white part all the way through. I wasn't thinking, I was just like, I'll cut it as, I'll leave just a little bit of this, not really thinking that I would need to catch this stuff. I was like, oh, I'll just leave a little bit of this. And I needed way more than I thought, because you can see here we have a good much, but then right here it's really low, close to the elastic. So I'm glad we caught enough of the fabric. Blind stitching, let's cut off these stragglers. The elastic is still in place and it's really close to the edge, so I'm happy with that. That looks pretty good to me. So let's try this baby on. And I am gonna hold on to the original shirt. I might eventually take off the sleeves entirely or try and make them short sleeve. We'll see, but it's not gonna go to waste. I have a feeling this shirt with this little poof in the front is gonna come in handy one day for one of my costumes. So now I'm gonna try on the whole thing and do a makeup test as well. So I actually ended up deleting the makeup test by accident, but this is how the outfit fully came together. And in this picture, you'll see the fake hand that I made. And the nose jar that I used in a little bit as well. I did not document how I made the fake hand because I did not have a lot of faith that it would come out correctly, but I actually loved how it came out. And I'm kind of sad I don't have the progress documented, but it is what it is. I just used 2 tones of brown paint to try and get that wood grain effect, freehanded the design with some black paint, painted some press-on nails and stuck them on with nail glue, and then threw on her rings. The nose bucket was just because I desperately needed some storage. I printed out some noses, stuck it in a clear bucket, and there you have that. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for coming along this journey of making Spanish Jackie. The con has already happened, so look out for the con vlog soon. In the meantime, check out pics on my Instagram, same handle. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.